Our next speaker is Sarah Warman, and Sarah is from BrewDog. Now, she has a PR background, and she's recently moved in-house to work with the brewery, managing social media strategy, supporting events teams, and developing the digital marketing. I have to say, I'm not a great beer drinker, but I love the idea of BrewDog. I think it's absolutely fantastic brand. I love this craft beer anniversary that you did, where people could actually bring in a bottle of Heineken or Carling or presumably, whatever else, and get a bottle of BrewDog instead. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And also your funeral in Stockholm, or the craft lager funeral when you opened a new bar. Brilliant thinking. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say.
Absolutely, we'll convert you by the end of today. So I'm Sarah, I'm from BrewDog, I'm Master Gunner as Tim pointed out. Just a little bit of background about the company in case any of you haven't heard of BrewDog before. We're a post-apocalyptic motherfucker of a craft beer brewery. Sorry if that offends anybody. So BrewDog was started in 2007 by James Watt and Martin Dickey, who started just brewing small batch beers in their garage just because they were doing it as a hobby, basically, just home brewers essentially. And they took some of their samples of beer to the esteemed Michael Jackson, it's not the singer, but the beer critic.
The one without the glove.
Yeah, the one without the glove. And he said, you guys should quit your jobs and start brewing. So they did. They just sacked in their jobs and bought some stainless steel, got some scary bag clothes and started brewing. Since 2007, we now have a £7 million eco brewery in Scotland. We have opened 11 bars in the UK and we're opening our first international bar in Stockholm today. We've raised £2.2 million through public investment and we have 7,000 investors as a result. We export to 38 countries and we're looking at opening more bars in the UK and abroad this year. So our attitude is obviously pretty punching out there. I'm going to start off with a quick video just to show you the sort of thing that BrewDog does, just to set us up for the day really, and then I'll talk through a few other things that we've done.
What's this? I just found this.
World Beer Cup.
Gold Award 2010 Hardcore IPA.
Well done.
We are insanely passionate about great craft beer. On the other hand, we're not too passionate about generic monolithic industrial beers. We're also fans of playing bowling.
And there's nothing more hardcore than bowling.
Smile, you son of a bitch. Double IPA, an IPA with everything amplified. More malt, more hops, more bitterness, more alcohol. Seeing all the malt going in there. The base for this beer is 100% Scottish malt, and that's going to give us the canvas to paint the picture that we're painting in there with the hops. And in this beer we're using 3 types of American hops.
We've got Columbus, we've got Centennial, and we've got Simcoe in there. You've got resinous, you've got fruity, you've got pine needle.
There's citrus, there's some floral bouquet in there too. A bit of kind of biscuity cinnamon sweetness coming from the malt.
It's almost like smelling the hop and basically chewing the hop.
You know you're not actually supposed to eat hops. Right, bucket loads of hops twice to the beer, and that just gives us a huge amount of aroma.
You can see the beer's still hazy, and that really amplifies the flavour. It really amplifies the aroma and the intensity, so we're keeping all the goodness in the beer.
Martin is a malt genius.
Okay, but you can't drink it straight out of the bottle. We'll have to put it in your own special cup. Apparently the double IPA is really good for their thick coats. Hardcore. They love it.
The craft beer pirate is besides himself. He's beside me as well, as he is most of the time.
So yeah, that gives you a bit of a basis for the sort of thing we do. Obviously at the core of that there is craft beer. They were tasting notes, they were telling you about how beer is brewed, what hops were involved in that, which is something you didn't really ever used to get, and you still don't get on mainstream beers. But it also has a hell of a lot of an entertainment factor. It's really shareable content. People want to show that to their friends. It makes you laugh and it makes you remember it. So it's a lot more engaging than something quite bland, and also one-way advertising, which is what the most mainstream brewers do. So here's some more examples of the sort of things we've done in the past, which are the same sort of high-octane activity. So we hijacked a tank to launch BrewDog Camden, which was our first bar in England. We made the world's strongest beer numerous times. So the first one was Tokyo, which was 18%, and the Daily Mail told us that we were going to be responsible for the downfall of Western civilization. We then topped that with
That's a badge of honour.
Yeah, exactly. We have it on the website. We then had the 38% Tactical Nuclear Penguin, and we also had the 41% Sink the Bismarck, which was brewed as a German brewer had actually topped us, so we sank the Bismarck.
What's going on with ferrets?
This one is the last instalment of our world's strongest beer, which was the end of history, based on the Fukuyama text basically. And it was quite an exciting one because in this instance we were actually packaging it in taxidermy squirrels and stoats. It sold for £700, we only made 12 bottles and they sold out within a couple of hours. They caused a hell of a lot of uproar. They rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way, but that was the point. They are both beautiful and disturbing at the same time. They break taboos and they make you think differently about that packaging. And that's exactly what it's intended to do about the beer inside. It makes you think differently about beer. It's 55%. You're not just going to pick that up in your local supermarket. Another example was Ghost Deer, which is the one just above the squirrels. And that was a 28% naturally brewed beer, which was served out of a deer's head. We brewed a beer at the bottom of the ocean called Sub Punk, which again was a nice way for us to actually talk to people about brewing because it fermented at the bottom of the ocean. People are going to ask questions about how we managed to do that, and obviously it's to do with the temperature that yeast works at. So again, it's giving us a reason to educate people about craft beer in a way that's really edgy and different and encourages people to want to find out more. Obviously we destroy industrial generic beers pretty much every weekend. We've opened 12 bars as of today. We changed the law with a dwarf with the world's smallest protest. So we rescued the schooner, which is a 2/3 pint measure, which wasn't actually legal in the UK for bars, but is now because of our protest. It was really key for us because when you're serving 7.2, 9.2% beers, you don't want to have a pint, but you don't also want to have a half. So having the right sort of measures is really important to making sure that beer is actually enjoyed in the right way. We also pioneered equity for punks, which I mentioned briefly earlier before technical difficulties. And that was our share scheme by which anyone and everyone could invest in BrewDog and get richer with every beer they drink. So there are a few of the different things that we've done. But obviously there's more to it than just doing the activity. There has to be a lot of reason behind it, and our digital activity is really key to that. So we've got social media profiles on the majority of platforms. So we've got Vimeo, YouTube, Twitter, Google+, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. We've got a hell of a lot of communities out there. I think on Twitter at the moment we have about 28,000 followers and 36,000 Facebook likes. So we have huge communities that we're talking to on a day-to-day basis. We're engaging with them. We're talking to them about the new beers that we're producing, the way that we're making them, educating them about craft beer, but also having fun with them and talking to them in our very specific tone of voice, which means that people want to engage with us. They want to ask us questions. They want to know more. Obviously, video content is really key and it's really shareable. People love to show their friends that they've come across this. So we regularly produce batches of videos. We have an awesome team in the US who come over a couple of times a year and do the awesome videos like the Hardcore IPA one, which is actually a couple of years old now, but it's exactly the same message that we still put out today. A couple of examples of things that we've done recently that are quite sort of edgy and really show the impact that an online community can have are Mashtag, which is the bottom picture here, where we actually brew what we were told to brew by our Twitter followers, Facebook fans, and blog readers. So over the course of a week, we gave people the opportunity to vote on different areas of a beer, and at the end of that week, we decided to brew that beer. So it's currently fermenting in tank at the moment, so it should be ready in a few weeks. So on day one, they chose the beer style, then they chose the ABV, they chose the bitterness, they chose the name, they chose a special twist, and they've also designed the label. So every element of that beer was decided by our fans. It is the epitome of beer by the people for them. So that got us a huge amount of tweets and interaction every single day. It made people feel really, really connected to the brand and and shortening the distance between the brewery and the end consumer is massively key to us. It's really important. It's a massive part of our messaging, and social media is exactly the way that we can do that. Another example of something we did on the 1st of April, we decided that we were going to ditch craft beer brewing. It was a load of bollocks and go mainstream. So we said that we were going to launch fake lager, which was going to be a shit, insipid, fizzy, yellow, cardboard mainstream beer, basically. And it got a lot of people talking. It drove a lot of traffic to our website to read what we were doing. It was actually a bank holiday, but we still managed to generate a huge amount of interaction, and it got people laughing and joking and talking about us. The following day, on April the 2nd, we announced that actually it wasn't a joke. We were actually launching fake lager, which then again increased the interaction we had online and made people even more interested in what we were doing. And about midday, we launched a blog post to say that we weren't ditching craft beer, but we were launching fake lager, which harked back to the origins of lager, the real reason that lager exists, and the actual original product, which is actually a very good quality beer, but has been bastardised by the mainstream industrial produced beer companies. We also combined this with our bars. So as part of the launch, we held a craft beer amnesty, whereby on the following Saturday, anyone and everyone could visit one of our bars with a can of shit Carling or Stella or Carlsberg and trade it for a pint of fake lager. So it got people to come into the bar, taste the beer, and really associate it with what it stands up against. And it connected the online activity to actually having some sort of personality offline and got people into our bars. Yeah, that's the majority of sort of our digital presence, which is exactly how we execute all the cool stuff that we do. I know I'm running over a little bit here, but okay, cool. In terms of evolution, this is obviously the tank again, but obviously evolution is really key to us because the bigger we become, the more close we are to becoming that mainstream ideal. But it's really key for us to maintain a hold on what we're about. So evolution is something that we're going to have to take very carefully. Obviously the bar division really helps with that because it's a craft beer revolution. We don't just sell our beers in our bars. We sell craft beers from around the world, from Australia, France, Germany, America, and we encourage people to visit our beer schools. So we're getting people to come in and learn about beer, learn about the origins and the brewing process, rather than just sitting at the bar and enjoying a pint and not really thinking about what's in their glass. We also have with retail, which is something that we, in our sort of ad hoc panel, we mentioned briefly that you don't necessarily want to be in the supermarkets if you're a wine product, but we're stocked in every major supermarket in the UK. Punk IPA, which is our flagship beer, is also stocked alongside 5am Saint and Dead Pony Club, which are three of our biggest selling beers. It's not an issue for us to be stocked in there because it gets people thinking about craft beer and think about beer in a different way instead of buying 12 cans for £8. We don't do any cost cutting, we don't offer any discounts to supermarkets, so they have to buy at wholesale price that we sell to the specialist retailer as well. So it means that people are there is the demand there, people are asking these supermarkets to buy the product, there's a huge amount of pull, so we don't have to push too hard because the supermarkets are going to sell this product at a higher price point because it's worth it, and at the moment people are going to pay that for it because they want transparency on a company that they can see is doing well and is making good quality products. So I have three things that I'm just going to leave you with that are really key to what I do on a day-to-day basis, basically. So number one is don't sell, share. You don't want to just be pushing out a one-way marketing sort of communication with what you're trying to sell. You want to produce some sort of shareable content. That's what's going to expand your reach. The Hardcore IPA video that I showed you earlier, I posted it on Facebook about a month ago on a Sunday afternoon, which is the quietest time for social media. The reach that it got through people sharing it with their friends was about 80,000, which is more than 3 times the amount of likes that we have on Facebook. So sharing is key. Number two is forget your product, which is basically think outside the box. Look to other industries that inspire you. BrewDog's approach to the mainstream breweries is exactly the same as the old school punks to pop culture. So that's where we've taken our ethos from. We haven't looked to other beer breweries or craft beer breweries or even anyone in the drinks industry. We've looked to a totally different area and culture, if you like, and applied that to our marketing. And number three is give a shit. Passion is visible, it's contagious, people are going to want to get involved with you if they can see that you care about what you're doing. And that's exactly how our digital strategy, as well as all of our PR and outreach works, and that's exactly what we're all about.
Thank you very much.